Hello and welcome to all my amazing talented hair artists. I'd like to welcome you to L'Oreal Professionals, the secrets behind permanent hair color. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into all our permanent color lines within the L'Oreal Professional family and to become a pro at all things permanent. Don't forget, if you have any questions, please let your local educator know. Don't forget a pen and a paper to write down some notes. And don't forget to take our survey after the session. To be a L'Oreal Professional Pro, we need to know the person who started it all, and that was Eugene Schuler. In the early 1900s in France, he was a young chemist with an entrepreneurial spirit. He wanted to create a professional line that was entirely at the hairdresser's service to make our jobs easier as hairdressers behind the chair. He was the first person to invent the tone level scale that we use as a fundamental tool behind the chair today. He was also the first person to invent liquid shampoo, because before this, we were still washing our hair with bars of soap. And at L'Oreal Professional, we have a manifesto that relates to what we do as stylists and colorists behind the chair and all around the world. We are the professional pioneers from Paris. Pros are the reason why we exist to be at their service. Our mission is to valorize and reveal pro talent with safe and superior performance. Together, we achieve the physical and emotional transformation of all humans, boosting their self-confidence and pride. Together, we create the hair culture. The first permanent color family we have in our L'Oreal Professional line is Majirel. And you might be asking yourself, how can I become an expert at reading the color lines within the color family? Well, let's take a look at the color wheel. First, we want to know what each one of our naturals are made up of. And that is equal parts of the primary colors, blue, yellow, and red. But what do the reflex stand for? And these are the numbers within our lines. So the one thing I want you to take from this is all of our reflex derive from the color wheel. So 1 being our ash or our blue, 2 being our iridescent or our violet, 3 being our gold or our yellow, 4 being our copper or our orange, 5 being our mahogany, 6 being our red, 7 being our green or our matte, and 8 being our mocha. Now you can see we have 2 specific colors that are not on the actual color wheel, and that's mocha and mahogany. These were invented to help enhance any of our browns behind the chair, with either mocha or mahogany being cool or warm. But let's talk about what they are actually made up of so that we know how to formulate for our clients' hair. Mocha is actually made up of all the colors on the color wheel except yellow, giving us a beautiful, cool brown. And our mahogany is made up of equal parts of violet and copper, giving us that beautiful, warm brown that our clients love. Now, let's also keep in mind that the color wheel is an essential tool for us as colorists. Knowing the color wheel by heart will help us understand what to do with the colors that we need within our client's hair. Do we want to subdue the color? Do we want to use the color? Or do we actually want to lose the color? Also, remember that any color that sits on the opposite of each other on the color wheel helps to neutralize one another. Like I was saying, having a good foundation is key to success with any color service we are performing behind the chair. Let's take a deep dive into the tone level scales, undercoat, and neutralizing them. On every client, we have a tone. And depending on the tone level, it will range. 1 is our darkest, being our black, and 10 is our lightest, being our lightest blonde. With every client that sits on our chair, we know they also have undercoats as well. But depending on where they start in the tone level scale is where their undercoat will sit. Now let's take a look at the undercoats within the tone level scale. Our 1 to 4 will be a red. Our level 5 will be a red orange. Our level 6, will be an orange. Our level 7 will be a orange yellow. Our level 8 will be a yellow. Our level 9 will be a light yellow. And our level 10 undercoat will be the lightest yellow. But let's put you to the test. Remember in the last slide when I spoke about what sits opposite on the color wheel will actually help neutralize it? From a level 1 to a level 4, we know the undercoat is red. But what sits on the opposite of the color wheel to help neutralize red? Correct, it's green. Now our level 5, we have an undercoat of a red-orange. What will help us neutralize a red-orange undercoat? And that's green and blue. Our level 6, our undercoat is orange, and that is blue. Our level 7 has an undercoat of orange-yellow, and what will neutralize that is a blue iridescent. Our level 8 undercoat is yellow, and what helps us neutralize that is an iridescent. Our level 9 undercoat is a light yellow. This will be a light iridescent to help neutralize. And our level 10 being our lightest yellow undercoat. What will help neutralize that is the lightest iridescent. Now you may be wondering how to read our numbering system, and it truly is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Let's use our 8, 3, 4, for example. And that ends up being a level 8 golden copper. Anything that sits before the decimal will be the level of depth or the tone level that we're using. Anything that sits right after the decimal is our primary reflect, and that actually makes up two-thirds of our color. And anything that sits after the primary will be our secondary reflect, and that makes up 1/3 of our color. But now let's talk about the different intensities that we have within our color lines. And let's become an expert at it. Let's use our level 7 with our gold for a demonstration. As you can see, we have a 7.30. When the 0 sits in the primary reflex spot, we have to know that actually that will soften our reflect. So we'll have a soft golden blonde. If we have something like a 7.3, this will actually be one of our main reflect, so it will show as a golden blonde. Then we have something that we see on the next one, which is a 7.33. When we see a double digit in both our primary and our secondary reflex spot, this will actually help deepen and make our color richer. And you'll see this with a few of our colors as well, whether it be maybe 66, 0.22, 0.11. Remember, that will actually help us deepen and make our color richer. And last but not least, we now see our 7.30. When we have the 0 sitting in our secondary reflex spot, what we have to know is actually not only will this help intensify, but it'll actually make our color even brighter. So this will give us a beautiful, intense, bright looking golden blonde. Now let's move on to one of our first permanent color families, Majirel. Majirel is our permanent hair colored line. Now L'Oreal Professional has made the color line even more user-friendly with the color-coded boxes, numbering system, and now lettering system. So for example, like we can see on the screen, all of our boxes are color-coded. Whether it is an ash, which is a blue, the top of the box will be blue, and so on and so forth, whether it being purple, red, or gold as well. So for example, our 7.3, which is our 7 gold, this tube right here has our golden shade at the first quarter of the box. So not only do we have our numbering system, which we know and love, but now to make it even more user-friendly, we have our lettering system as well. So our 7G. So for anybody that's new to L'Oreal Professional, this helps make our color mixing even easier for us. Some of the key benefits to using our Majirel are perfect color results with a beautiful and even rich finish from regrowth to ends. Every tube of Majirel is 50 milliliters. The mixing ratio is 1 to 1.5. So 50 milliliters of your desired color to 75 milliliters of your oxidant for 35 minutes. Know that Majirel is also able to lift up to 3 levels and also cover up to 100% gray. Not only does Majirel leave the hair rich with even color, but within every tube of Majirel, we have a beautiful conditioning formula, and that is Incel and 99G. It truly is care for the entire hair fiber, reaching the surface, the cuticle, and the cortex. Hair will be reinforced, soft, and smooth with ultimate shine and nourishment. When we're behind the chair, we need to know how to formulate for gray coverage. Know that any client that sits between 0 to 50% gray hair, the only thing that we need is our desired shade. Any client that sits between 50 to 100%, you will need to mix half your natural base shade to half your desired shade. Another amazing trick within the L'Oreal Professional line and us as colorists, what we need to know is that all of our gold shades within Majirel help cover gray hair up to 100%. So any of our tubes that say the 0.3 after the base shade will help us cover gray hair. Now, this is a great way to help us with with formulating for any of our warm shades. So let's take the first example. Our client's desire is a 7 copper gold or a 7.43. Now, to keep the same intensity from regrowth to mid-lengths and ends, our formula will look as follows. Half our 7.43 to half our 7.3 with 20 volume. Now remember, when we're doing a client who desires a cool reflect, for this example at the bottom here, a 6.13 or a 6 ash gold, our formula will look like this. Half 6.13 to half 6 natural, 20 volume. For even more great coverage tools within Majirel, we also have our deep fundamentals, ranging from 4.0 to 8.0. These colors are for our clients with very resistant, stubborn gray hair. Now let's take a deep dive into our subfamilies within Majirel. Our cool covers. Our cool covers is our ultimate neutralizing line, boosted with 80% cool reflex. This is for our client that always has the gold shimmering fadage, or our client with gold or warm reflex popping through. Majirel Cool Covers has extreme long-lasting neutralization, giving our clients deep, long-lasting coverage to any high-resistant extreme conditions. Majirel Cool Covers gives us up to 100% gray coverage. So there's no need to mix a natural because the molecule is actually smaller, so it'll penetrate deeper into the client's cuticle and cortex of the hair. But because it is boosted with 80% cool reflex, the final result can appear about half a shade darker. Remember, Majirel Cool Covers stays the same mixing ratio and same timing as our regular Majirel line. It's 1 to 1.5 mixing ratio to 35 minutes. And our new Cool Enforced is truly a complete palette covering all bases and needs. It's perfect for the client that doesn't want brassiness due to optimal neutralization. So for bases where we need extra cool effects, use our 0.1. And for bases that need more of a beige effect, use our Majirel Cool Enforced 0.13 for more neutral effects. Now you're probably wondering, how do I figure out which one's Majirel Cool Enforced and which one's Majirel Cool Covers? And I will gladly show you. Majirel Cool Enforced and Majirel Cool Covers actually come in two different boxes, okay? Our Majirel Cool Covers box will actually look like this. The first quarter will actually be white, but the face of the box will have the Cool Covers name at the bottom, okay? And then our Majirel Cool Enforced, the first quarter of the box will actually be a blue, and where you will see the Cool Enforced name or logo will be right at the bottom as well. So this makes it easier for us to pick when we are mixing of whether we want cool covers or cool enforced. Majirel Cool Enforced shades are true to tone and beautiful and have a beautiful modern taste to color. Majirel Cool Enforced follows the same gray coverage rules. Anything from 0 to 50%, we just need our target shade. Anything from 50% to 100%, we need to use half our base shade to half our desired Cool Enforced shade, with a mixing ratio of 1 to 1.5 for 35 minutes. Majirel Glow is new to our family. It's our translucent sibling with a neutralized finish with extreme luminosity. With the new pigment balance, we are able to achieve 4 times more transparency within our color. Glow can achieve up to 3 levels of lift. But let's talk about reading Majirel Glow. So each tube has 1 shade for different levels of depth. So let me show you. So there will be a D and an L. Our D will mean dark and our L will mean light. So for example, right here at the bottom of the formula, it will say D. okay? These are for our dark bases, ranging from anywhere from 1 to 5, okay? But remember, when reading glow, we still have to remember how our reflex sit, okay? So we don't have an actual base shade within this color line. So remember, for this one, we have a 0.17. Our primary reflect is a 1, and that is making up 2/3 of our color. And our secondary reflect is a 7, and that is making up 1/3 of our color. So the predominant color will be ash, and the secondary pigment will be a green, and this is going to help with extreme neutralization on bases 3 to 4. Now, if you're looking for which base it can target, it'll be right underneath the dark under here. So it'll say base from 1 to 5 and underlined from 3 to 4. And the same thing with the light as well. Now remember, when reading glow, it's all about remembering how our reflex sit in our color lines. So we can see that we have a 0.01. So it's going to be a soft ash, or a soft blue. This is our L, so we see at the bottom, this is for our light bases, and our light bases range from anywhere between a 6 and a 10. But where this one truly will sit is between an 8 and a 9, and that will be underlined. Now for gray coverage with glow, anything from 0 to 30% will give us more of a gray blended effect. Anything from 30 to 50% gray coverage, we would like you to mix quarter fundamental from our Majirel core range on the roots to achieve more coverage. And remember, anything 50% or more for gray hair, glow will not be possible for this instant. Now, what we do suggest for root maintenance is using our Majirel cool covers. Remember, both of them have the same amount of neutralizing reflex in them. Okay, so our Majirel cool covers at our regrowth and taking through from our mid-lengths and ends with our glow to give us luminous and translucent ends. Now we have our Magi Rouge family. Our Magi Rouge is used the same as our Majirel, but its key benefits are just a bit different. Magi Rouge family has bright, vibrant, and intense tones that stay true to color and that are long-lasting. And within the Magi Rouge family, we have 3 subfamilies. Our Rubeline, which is our copper reds, our DM5s, which is our red purples, and our Carmeline, which is our red blues. These are long-lasting and with deep, beautiful red tones. But the one thing that is super amazing about them is whether it's Rubeline, DM5, or Carmeline, each one of these will cover up to 100% gray hair without a natural or a gold shade. So our Magi contrast is our one-step lift and deposit color with 2 beautiful shades of red and magenta. Whether this is on color-treated hair or virgin hair, Magi Contrast is the answer to beautiful lifting and depositing red tones to the hair without lightening and toning. Magi Contrast, whether it's in foils or in mesh, can help lift and deposit tones. On natural bases 1 to 3, use 40 volume. On natural bases 4 to 5, use 30 volume. And on natural bases 6, use 20 volume. And on color-treated hair, bases 4, 5, and 6, we suggest using 20, 30, or 40 volume as well. Magi Contrast is still a 1 to 1.5 mixing ratio for 35 minutes. This is one of our color lines that we do suggest adding heat to cut our time in almost in half to 15 minutes. And our Majirel mixes are an expert tool for colorists. With 5 concentrates, the key benefits to our Majirel mixes are that they are pure reflect colors. Our warm colors, red and copper, to intensify our colors. Our warm colors, red and copper, to intensify colors. And our cool colors, violet, blue, and green, to help neutralize. Remember, we can also use our Majirel mixes to help personalize any tailor-made colors. Majirel mixes are simple to use. Mix 50 milliliters of your Majirel formula to 75 milliliters of your Magi cream. Then just simply add up to a quarter of your Majirel mix. Within L'Oreal Professional, we have the L'Oreal Professional family, we have 3 options to work that works with our color line. And these are our developers, our Magi Cream developers. 12.5, 20, and 30. 12.5 volume will give us not only deposit, but up to a level and a half of lift. 20 volume is our perfect for our gray coverage and gives us up to 2 levels of lift. And 30 volume gives us up to 3 levels of lift. Now our Majirel High Lift, giving us that true California blonde. Our Majirel High Lifts are our most coolest and neutralizing shades. Majirel High Lift provides the ultimate palette to personalize your client's blonde hair. With with colors of ash, beige to perfectly match your client's skin tone. The key benefits to Majirel High Lift is that it can not only lighten up to 4.5 levels, but it also can help tone simultaneously at the same time. Majirel High Lift is a mixing ratio of 1 to 2. So 50 milliliters of your Magi High Lift to 100 milliliters of your Magi Cream for a processing time of up to 50 minutes. To achieve the perfect high lift blonde, suitable bases 5 and 6, mix 50 milliliters of your desired shade. I'm sorry, I apologize. Suitable bases for 5 and 6. Please use 30 volume. This will give us up to 3 levels of lift. For bases 4 and 5, we suggest using our 40 volume to give us up to 4.5 levels of lift. Remember, Magi High Lift has a different timing and a different mixing ratio, like I said in the last slide, and that is a 1 to 2 mixing ratio for 50 minutes. You might be wondering what Inawa is. So, and how does Inawa work? Inawa is our first ammonia-free permanent hair color line by L'Oreal Professional. But who is our Inawa client? Our Inawa client is the person who is precise, who wants scalp comfort, who loves the innovation and the ultimate condition to their hair. She wants complete coverage, but with a beautiful and natural finish. But how does Inawa really work and how does it stand out to our clients? Not only is it ammonia-free, now enhancing our clientele to a different color line within the salon. Inawa has no odor and leaves our client with ultimate scalp comfort. Hair is left with ultimate shine and complete reflect to the hair's fiber. Hair is left with ultimate shine and complete comfort to the hair's fiber. The technology behind Inawa is simple. It's something called the oil delivery system. What the oil does is surround the hair's fiber, gently opening up the cuticle and pushing the color molecule deeper inside the cortex of the hair, leaving you with the most natural and shiny finish. For those of us that have used Inawa, the results are truly noticed. But let's take a deeper look into Inawa. Inawa has its own set of oxidants, 20, 30, and 40 volume. Every tube of Inawa is 60 milliliters and is actually a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. So 60 milliliters of our color tube to 60 milliliters of our Inawa oxidant for a 35-minute developing time. Inawa lifts up to 3 levels. Because the way Inawa penetrates into the cortex of the hair, the gray coverage rules goes as follows. Anything from 0 to 70%, all we need to do is mix our desired shade. Anything from 70% to 100%, we need to mix half our base shade to half our desired shade for 35 minutes to a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. There are a few other gray coverage tools we can use to our advantage, but let me show you. Not only do we have our natural shades, but we also have our double naturals in Inawa as well, ranging from 3.0 to 7.0. So they will look like this. We also have our gold naturals that help cover 100% gray without a natural basic shade. But there's a difference between the both of them. So let me show you as well. Right here is our basic gold shade. The face of the box will actually have a gold pigment to it. The gold natural shade will say what it is right at the top with the gold shade numbering system right at the bottom. So remember, your gold natural, this one right here, will help you cover up to 100% gray, leaving warm intensity to the color that we have chosen through regrowth, mid-lengths, and ends. And then this box right here with the golden face will only help cover from 0 to 70% gray hair. You may be asking yourself, does Inuwa have our red families that Majirel does? And the answer is yes. Within our Inuwa, we still have our Rubeline Carmeline DM5, giving us beautiful, deep, true to tone, long-lasting red shades that also cover up to 100% gray hair as well, without mixing a gold natural or a natural within our formula to really help keep that intensity of the red through the regrowth to the lengths and ends. If you have Inuwa in your color bar, you will also notice some shades called Inuwa High Resist. So 2 shades like this. There are 9 long-lasting shades that help us combat brassiness for up to 8 weeks. So these shades will help us combat brassiness and help give us the longevity for up to 8 weeks with any of our clients' colors. The results, your client will feel extremely comforted with beautiful, shiny, natural results. Hair left in the best quality and ultimate comfort and condition to our client's scalp. I would like to thank you for taking your time out today and truly becoming an expert in the secrets behind permanent hair color with L'Oreal Professional. I would like you to take a deeper look into our next session about French color and glossing and becoming an expert into the secrets behind demi-permanent hair color. My name is Sophie, and I'm a professional development consultant with L'Oreal Professional. Have a great day.